Ain't found a way to kill me yet. Lies burn from stinging sweat. Seems every path leads me to nowhere. Wife and kids, household pet. Army green, but it's no safe bet. The bullets scream to me from somewhere. Ooh. Yeah, it's not the rooster. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, here come the rooster. Yeah, you know we ain't gonna die. Oh yeah, welcome to the blockchain basement, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me today. We got some friends up in the chat here. We got some on the couch. Hold on, mute this mic. Let me swing it on over to him there, Isaac. You ready for this?
I'm already ready.
Woo! Sending it on over to you. Hudson's in the corner, so, you know, just so everyone knows, he's trying to hide, but there is no hiding from me, Hudson. You know this.
He's trying to tune back in to get rebased.
You know, no, he's
a
gonna be
rebasing
great.
program.
He's going to be great. We're going to fix him right up. It's going to be no problem.
Hudson's
The
the most base
markets
person I know.
tried to kill everyone's spirit last night, you guys. The markets tried to kill everyone. It's very sad indeed. But we woke up and our bags were still there. Okay, so not all hope is lost. We got Kelly Kellum joining us on the couch. He's going to talk some sense to us on the charts. Kelly called 56.3 to a T a few days ago, so I'm very glad to have you on the show, brother. We got the boys from Forerunner Gunner joining us over here. And just fair warning on the mic, you got to get right up in that shit. You know what I mean?
right
Get
there.
right up on that. But guys, you run Forerunner Gunner. You're right next door. You're my neighbors. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good.
So good.
After that intro song, my day is made.
Yeah.
It was a chat request. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It was a
hell yeah.
chat request. So
I like the rooster operator in
Yeah.
the background.
dude, we need some drums, man. Jeez, man.
Well, you know, we have drums next door and basses
know.
and electric guitars and all that.
We need to get it going, bro.
Like
Like
band live stream.
my heart misses having a band. Like I
The
do miss having a
syncopation when you're
band.
playing music by yourself is fun, but when you have 2, 3,
Yeah.
4 people and you're just in the pocket,
Yep.
yeah.
I've
It's
seen Kelly
different.
shred. Kelly can shred too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we've been there. And you know, I appreciate
Shred my-
everyone
shred
for
my leg.
supporting us. Oh
Ooh,
God,
that's
yeah,
pretty shredded.
Shred
your
my
leg
leg.
is shredded, bro.
Wow.
Yo, the bikes
Oh.
scare the shit out of me, Kelly, and you're part of the
Holy
reason why bikes scare the shit out of me.
What
dude.
the hell is that?
He got jacked up on a bike, man. Tell him your story. I mean, but all right. First of all, we got to introduce the show. You guys, I appreciate you for joining me. We are powered by Arculus and also our exchange partner, 2Bit. If you're utilizing cold storage, you can use code BASE10, get your crypto off the exchanges you're purchasing, and become your own bank. And you can also get some great deals with some promotions we have going on right now. 10% rebate on your first deposit up to $2,000 on 2Bit, the exchange. You click the link down in our description below, and you can utilize our referral code that is in the description to take advantage of that awesome promotion. Time is running out, so take advantage of it while the getting's good, and we have this good Bitcoin dip. And here's just a highlight on the average day in the life of a Bitcoin blockchain basement enjoyer. This is Johnny December, living the dream, smoking his cigars out there. He looks very similar to Veteran Crypto, just very based, often bald, and many cigars to be had. So shout out to you guys. Okay. Kelly, you called some Bitcoin price action to the T earlier. Okay. You called out $56,300. Now, obviously, last night sucked. Okay. We had a massive, massive pullback. I had a post, this is unwell as we fell off a cliff. Do you think we're going to hold where we are right now with Bitcoin? Or is this pump back up to $58,000 just a breath before we go back underwater?
Well, it's a good question. I think it all ties back to this. We're upset if we don't have anything to put, if we don't have anything on the sidelines to continue to either add to positions, lower average entries. For instance, for me, I couldn't be more thrilled.
Yeah.
Price is pulling back. I've had some money I've been waiting on to come in for a couple of weeks, and I'm just not wanting it to just break out, right? And so as the price is pulling down, I'm like, yeah, go. So it just kind of made me think about that, the perception that we have sometimes when we're literally all in, we have no dry powder, and we're not doing anything in our life to create capital flow to bolster the positions that we're having, or continuing to invest in the projects we believe in. Because remember, March, it felt for a moment like we were just going to hit 100K by May.
You know what? The next time I sing positively about Bitcoin price action, I'm going to take profits again, because that's what happened.
But the point there at March, and it's way more prevalent in the altcoins, is altcoins had a pretty good run up into that time period too. And they've seen obviously a much more substantial pullback. And so what I implore and encourage every one of you to do, if you were excited about any of those altcoins that you held in March when the price was where it's at, if you're frustrated right now because those prices are down, one, ask yourself, do you believe in these projects you're investing in? Two, if you do, and they do have strong fundamentals, and you do see, like, this is something, for instance, a lot of people I was talking to in March, people were positioning for the top of the bull run. They're trying to figure out to take profits next year. So why are we worried about the pullbacks that are happening now? And if we do believe in those projects, we should be literally jumping for joy that we have an opportunity to continue to buy at the prices that we have right now.
Yeah, and I was just sitting here kicking up dust and annoyed that the price fell. I was also annoyed that the price was trying to go back up for exactly that same reason, because I got projects I want to build bigger bags of.
Because corrections aren't only down.
Right.
People forget corrections can also be a time-based correction, where in this case, we've seen it the last two cycles, and the one before that was a little bit shorter. The last two cycles was roughly 160 days. I think it's 137, 138 days post-halving right now, which means we're still within that window that prices historically always traveled sideways, and frustrated the living crap out of people.
Yeah.
We have to keep the language soft until after 2:30 when we're going to really get into it with the members. But we're still within that window of sideways chop solidation. And that's what's most frustrating. I don't think that the price had a little pullback. It's like we kind of want either give us a big pullback, break this structure, or break out to the upside. It's like we gotta let the market do what it's going to do and take positions where it's allowing us the opportunity to do. And that's what this is about.
And back to my question here. Let's pull up the graphs here. So this is the deep sell-off that I was watching last night, sitting here just a little annoyed with, obviously, because we want everything to go up into the right only. But we did have a pretty aggressive bounce back up to the upside. And this level, it went all the way down on 2-bit to $55,644 here on 2-bit. And just for everyone, I saw a question, what is the blue circle? This is 2-bit, the logo for the exchange. Link in the description. Use our referral code to get some good bonuses. But we have been trying to recapture this level pretty aggressively. You said some pretty scary comments about if we closed below 56,300 though. And, if we do close below that 56,300, what is the next level that you're watching out for us to tap on this Bitcoin chart here? Because me personally, I'm like watching the bottom of these candles at 54,266.
I'd be looking about $52,000.
52?
Like a good way to measure it. You can do a little. By the way, on 2-bit and on any of the exchanges you're using, you can use the tools on here just like you do on TradingView.
Yep.
So you can quick tool it. You can just do I think on PC it's Alt-T and click near the top of that big.
Oh, I'm on a Mac. So is it Command T?
Command T.
All right, let's do it. Oh, geez.
Oh, no, sorry.
That did not do it.
Option. It's option, sorry.
Where did this go?
Option
T. All right.
You have to click on the chart first, though.
All right, fine.
Option T. Click.
Okay.
No, there you go. No, but measure from the top of that to about the neckline, straight down. Straight down. About right there.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit up.
Okay.
Yeah. Now move that down. Target from that same position.
Oh, Jesus.
No. From the point you just drew it from.
Ah, fine.
Right. No. Just move it straight down to where the bottom is.
All right. We're doing it.
Just like that. Yeah.
There it is.
Now the measurement down there is going to be about 52,
51.8.
Yeah.
That's gross, man. I don't like that.
But that would be great opportunity.
Look at this.
It starts getting to that max fear pain.
Look at this. Green Day Profits, gifted Membies. Shout out to you, bro. Also, for some reason, Green Day Profits was, here's the thing. I want you to do this for me, Isaac. Turn Green Day Profits into a moderator for me. Because for some reason, the chat was blocking him from commenting yesterday. We need to give him ultimate power and be a mod. So that's a pretty drastic correction you're calling our attention to here, man.
And it would still be a higher low.
A higher low still?
It would still be a higher low from that $49,000 washout.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go to the weekly here and look at this.
Yeah.
1 week. Just back up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be a higher low. All right. Well, I mean, I'm here for it if it does happen. Honestly, the March time frame you brought up, that was like a really fun time where things were just violently up and to the right. So I had to take profits. And I took quite a bit off the table, actually. So, you know, if we do pull back to those levels, someone was bringing up 48-cent Aerodrome. Is Aerodrome at 48 cents right now? I want to see this.
Aerodrome drop, Ondo drop. I mean, everything is providing some great opportunities.
I love Aerodrome, though. If it gets to that low, man, I got to get me some more Aerodrome. I got to pull it up on Coin Market Cap here.
Like, I want to stop because, you know, as influencers, I hate to do this, and I hate to even use the word influencer, but people that are trying to capture an audience, we have to do thumbnails around what people are fearing, not what the true sentiment is. So like even today on the BitLab stream, it's like crypto crash, because that's what people are feeling. But it's really what it should be is the thumbnail, if it was honest, it should be like, you're welcome for the opportunity.
Yeah. Willis Wilford, Green Day, please be nice to me. I am a troll, but your song Wake Me Up When September Ends is my favorite song. There you go. You know, and really, Green Day was the first song I learned how to play Dookie. That was the first song.
Album I bought.
First album you bought too?
Dookie.
But dude, they've turned into such, we're not even to like the blocked part of the member stream, so I can't really say exactly how far they've fallen from grace in my heart, but Green Day
they have
really
malaligned associations, we'll say that.
Malaligned association. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. But they're Canadian. That explains everything.
I was a punk rocker in high school, and we thought Green Day was just a bunch of sellouts. So.
A bunch of sellouts? Well, I mean, they were selling out shows. You know, that's understandable.
Punk.
Radio
but
punk.
It was good shit, though.
Yeah. But like Dead Kennedys and
Dead Kennedys.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
see, I'm listening to that right now, and it's not convincing me.
So good.
Yeah. And you got a great voice, so it's not you.
He's good. Kelly's a great singer, man. He was at the Nashville party. He was sitting there DJing. You know, he was keeping the party pumping.
Dude, I'm DJing in Singapore at the Coin W.
You're
party.
going to Singapore?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Whoa, man.
That's a flex.
Oh, man. That's pretty fun.
It's not a flex when you see the light.
Where are you going?
Like 30 hours? Shit, I need to sign up for AARP.
Yeah, it sounds terrible, honestly. But yeah, alts are getting gutted across the board for the most part. Aerodrome sitting here at 54 cents. Honestly, I am very excited for my wife to start up her new job because that's my extra DCA money. And seeing this market pull back, I'm going to be using her money to buy more crypto. And it's going to be these speculative altcoins. Fun. So we'll see if I end up getting my ass beat by her over that a year from now. But we're in it to win it, folks. So
I have to highlight Willis. So Willisford, what a name. I guess I can't lie. My name's Kelly Kellum, but Willisford says if you don't like Green Day, you probably listen to Nickelback and Katy Perry.
What? Green Day is with Nickelback. How can you even comment that? That
Bro.
makes no sense.
No, Nickelback is so far beyond. But it's funny how we have those associations.
dude, all right. So here's the deal. I love Nickelback. I love Nickelback. I think Nickelback, you know, yeah, they sell out. They sell out every show they play.
Yeah,
that's what they sell out.
100 million records sold. A lot of people, everybody hates them. Well, how'd they sell 100 million records?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I mean, that's where it is. You have to, I mean, they got the attention.
People say they don't like them, but they have all the lyrics memorized.
Yeah.
Somehow.
See? Exactly.
Drew,
Exactly.
you're just so hard to hate, man.
It's Target. It's Target soundtrack
Just
music.
like you're like the perfect person.
Oh, shut up. I'm not the perfect person.
He brings it back.
I'm far from the perfect person, man. Like, honestly, you know, I do my best. I wake up every day and I just focus on doing my best. And Bitcoin, it's been doing best to hold this level back to full circle here. But we have 10 Bitcoin ETFs with net outflows of 5,500 Bitcoin, down $317 million worth. Fidelity had 2,800 outflows of Bitcoin and currently holds 175,000 Bitcoin. 9 Ethereum ETFs with a net flow of negative 4,551 Ethereum. Grayscale outflowing 6,412 Ethereum. But guess what, folks? BlackRock did not sell a single one. So we see a lot of the auxiliary ETFs, the monsters in TradFi, not nearly as large as BlackRock selling. BlackRock continues to hodl and add to their position. Kind of an interesting dynamic to see given everything going on. This is something that's just a reason why I am so focused on trying to change my kids and my wife's financial future and fighting this devaluation of our dollar. 1 in every 3 American millionaires, people that are currently millionaires, feel wealthy, and nearly half say that their financial planning needs improvement, according to Northwestern Mutual Planning and its progress study. This is telling me that $1 million isn't what it used to be. And if you make $1 million in this current market, even nearly half of them are saying that their financial planning needs improvement. So you hit $1 million, that's not Graceland. You still need to find a way to protect your value and to put it in assets that are going to appreciate. And my overall plan, yeah, we're in a great season for crypto, and altcoins will come. This Bitcoin dominance chart, I'm still going by it. Let's measure how long we've gone after the halving here real quick, just to get an update on how long we got. So currently we're sitting at about 139 days post-halving. I'm going to be done buying crypto mid-November. So right around, I got about like 60, 70, maybe 80 days left of good entry points on altcoins before historically we see Bitcoin dominance has fallen off of a shelf. I'll go to a wider time frame so you can see this a little bit more clearly, but I'm still operating off of time scales in Bitcoin. It looks fancy, but it's not too fancy. So what this is showing is this is the second halving of Bitcoin, 231 days, boom, done. And then altcoins have fun. Here's the third halving, exactly 231 days to this point, boom, done. Altcoins have fun. Right here where we're at, we are not in this green juicy zone for altcoin season, so I still got time to stack, thankfully. But it is kind of sad seeing that people that even made $1 million are feeling scared about the economy, and really their buying power is just falling right through their fingers. That's why we got to fight aggressively.
Well, hey, Crypto Glasswork says, you keep changing the date, Drew, and I'll say this specifically. What everybody needs to realize is there's no oracle other than Chainlink. There's no oracle of like the exact date of which something can happen. Every day you're looking at the charts, and we look at it all day long, every day. You're taking in all the information that has changed, the new variables, all the information, and adjusting your strategy accordingly along the way. So dates can get sooner, they can get pushed back based on the different impacts of geopolitics, of what's happening coming up in November, what's happening with the FOMC in September, the fact that price is still falling right now, we're on the bottom half of that consolidation range rather than being on the top. All of this changes this idea of when those next big moves are going to come for different parts of the market.
Honestly, though, I'm kind of confused about what because I have been saying mid-November for a while now. So I'm a little confused about what I did actually change. So that has stayed the same the whole way through, and it's lining up with the election cycle. It's lining up with getting past this Fed pivot, whatever it may be. Honestly, I'm praying that it's not a 50 base point cut. Like, I think that a 50 base point cut would cause a massive fall in the markets. So that is what I'm hopeful for. But yeah, I've stuck to my guns. Mid-November, that's when I'm going to be buttoning it up. And I'm going to be selling mid-2025. If that changes, you're darn right I'm going to tell you. But you're right about taking new information and being able to change your assessment of the market. That is a very, very important thing to do, right? I mean, because in March, we saw meme coins going to the sky. We saw AI going to the sky. And there was a lot of thought that we were in some sort of super cycle. And I was even starting to hear it out. But then I reeled myself back in, realizing that we still haven't broken the all-time high for Bitcoin in terms of buying power. in order to break the all-time highs of Bitcoin in terms of buying power, I think we have to breach $80,000 per coin because our dollar's been devalued. And that's where the skew in the metrics comes, you know, the TA, the spider lines. It gets a little weird. And I think that's why some TA people were throwing it off and thinking we're in this hypercycle type situation. And I still don't believe we're going to get near $1 million Bitcoin this cycle. I'm thinking, you know, 250 at absolute tops, but I'm still reasonably looking for like 150,000 a unit. So welcome to Brokeback Crypto. This is amazing. I love that. So now
is it the pants or the jawline?
It's definitely both. It's definitely both. Now, this is a problem. What we have is Nvidia has been subpoenaed by the U.S. Department of Justice in an escalation of the agency's antitrust investigation. Absolutely not good, you guys. So the U.S. DOJ taken aim at Nvidia, and this is kind of the dark horse in the markets right now. If this investigation does find that there's some shell companies or that Nvidia has been cooking the books in any way, we're going to see much further downside than what we already have seen over the last 24 hours. The market wiped out $1 trillion from the U.S. stock market from this pullback. You see, Nvidia at a point was down by 9.7% on the news. Nvidia largely holding up the entire market on its back right now. Very sketchy situation, and this is a large connection to the problem with centralization of finance. It goes all the way into Wall Street, where you have all of Wall Street holding and white knuckling these lines of Nvidia, and it's straight up into the right price action. Not so much in this Nvidia pullback. It is, in my opinion, on the heels of the news of this investigation by the Department of Justice. But it's part of the sickness and what we get for tying ourselves so closely into TradFi from Bitcoin. Now, this is kind of a deep question, but let's say this investigation goes poorly and they do find that a massive, essentially fraud or whitewashing of the books has happened at Nvidia. Do you think this is going to usher in a new Great Depression for the markets, Kelly? Like, is this the 20-30% pullback we're all terrified of?
I think if that were the case, yes. But I think what it has to do with is antitrust, which just makes me laugh because of some of the things going on, you know. And, you know, this a big part of this is hosted on YouTube, which is owned by Google, Alphabet. I mean, if you want to talk about antitrust, it wouldn't be something like Nvidia that, you know, has a huge chipset in a very diverse market globally. But then I think it has more specifically about their purchase of an AI or their investment in an AI company, which is, it goes back to, you know, I did an interview with James Heckman, the CEO of Roundtable Media. He's also been part of major media companies for the last 40 years. And, you know, he made a very interesting statement. He said, you know, the interesting thing about AI, we're all talking about or thinking about, this ties into NVIDIA, so don't worry. But we're all thinking about how AI is going to adjust these things. And it's a good speculative opportunity. But he was talking about, from a media perspective, AI is just another way to spread misinformation. Because AI, other than Grok, all AI in America is owned by State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock. All of them.
Dude, Grok is the shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I was in a battle with my wife this weekend because we were playing Risk, and she was rolling one dice at a time as the defender and then letting me roll. Like, we were supposed to roll simultaneously. That's the thing. But in the rule book, they don't specifically mention that you have to roll simultaneously. They say you roll the pair, and I used Grok to solve the issue. And it gave me the answer immediately, solved the whole thing right away.
Was there like
incredible.
a probability factor that changes if you roll them one at a time?
Well, you can, okay, so you can, as a attacker, you're attacking with likely 3. And as a defender, you can defend with up to 2, but she would roll 1 and see how that 1 roll went compared to my 3. And then if she decided it didn't go so great, she would roll another.
No, you can't do that.
That's a scam. That's a scam. So shout out to Grok for that. But, you know, before I get too deep into the potential pullback for this AI, I want to ask you, Brian, you have one of the coolest normie Bitcoin stories I've ever heard. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience with crypto, because I know you like when you started working around us and, you know, hearing about Bitcoin, your interest is perked, but that was quite a while ago. Give this chat a rundown on your perspective, because I kind of love this.
It's real simple. I don't know much about any of this, and I respect those who do, but I hung out with some crypto people, and they said you should buy Bitcoin because it's going to go down and then it's going to go up. And so I bought at 16, and then I sold at 60.
Just so simple, so simple. He's like, I heard about Bitcoin. It goes up, it goes down. Saw it at 16, looked all right. And I remember that day when you bought it, you're like, yeah, I bought some Bitcoin. And I was like, damn it, he bought some even lower. Because I got in I filled my truck up at 17.
Yeah.
And then you came like the next week or something like that. And you're like, I got some at 16. I was like, shit, that was amazing. But then you sold at 60. And so what made you sell at 60K?
I was buying inventory for another business, and I needed the cash.
There you go. You let it simmer. You planted the seed. You let it grow. And then you took the profits. Not bad, man.
Well, I didn't even. I got into this. Remember the whole like ape days? Y'all probably make fun of the apes. Remember like the GME, the GameStop, and
Wall Street bets type stuff.
yeah, all that. So I started obsessing from 11 p.m. till 1 a.m. each night on Reddit about all of this, that whole tribe, that whole community, right? And I just thought it was fascinating. And though it helped me maintain a very low level of anxiety because I wasn't looking at conspiracy theories, which are all theories, true theories, but I was just reading all of this stuff on Reddit about, GameStop and what's the other one? AMC.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah,
There's
Bed
all
Bath &
kinds
Beyond.
of them.
But fortunately, I made $8,000 off. I know it's not a lot of money, but for my first time investing in stuff like that, I made $8,000.
It's a lot for your first time because then you're
That
hooked.
is.
Then you're
Then I
like,
was
okay.
hooked.
Then
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah. So I happened to get out before it went way back down and sold that for 8K. I don't remember what I did with that. That was years ago now. But
Dude, you're out trading. Like there's someone in the chat. I am so pissed this guy's out trading me. Who said that? Is it Willis or one of them out there? It's just insane.
well, it's because what's the rule? Only make 10 trades in your life. So what trades are you gonna make? Who said that? Didn't Warren Buffett say that?
What was it? What was it saying?
10 trades in your life.
Make 10, invest in 10, make 10
I've never
big
heard of that
trades in your
saying.
life, or like 10 companies. Like that's a rule. I don't know who said it, but it's like really decide how many bets you're going to make and cap it at that. So you really think about what bets you're going to make. So I've made 2 bets. So according to that, I have 8 bets left.
Dude, that's just such an amazing approach, though. So, and that's like, you have so little emotion connected to this story, and that's how you should be. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's
I
like,
think-
I saw the number went up really well. I needed the money for some stuff I did. And that's the same thing that I did in March. My wife wanted to sew and shop, and then we needed a new vehicle. And so I took I took like 80%, it felt like, off of the table. And I felt really stupid when I did it because there's all this, like, it's only going to go up and to the right, and everyone else is telling me it's going to keep going. Ended up, I sold at damn near the perfect time. And it's when you have a goal and you have like specific things in mind that you need to take the profits out for, it really helped me know when to pull the trigger on that. So I absolutely love that story, man. I mean, you're out trading the best of them out there. So shout out to you, man. Now back to the doomsday scenario here for Nvidia. And now you were talking about AI, the connection to it, right? And it doesn't make the chips, but it designs the chips. So it's got a very strong hold on the market at large for these high-end chip designs that it owns the rights to. But we even see a problem that might be coming for OpenAI right now. So Brian Rommel, I think it's Rommel, he's bringing this up on Twitter. Shout out to him. OpenAI warns copyright crackdown could doom ChatGPT. There's truth to this because they did not look how to curate vital microfiche materials. That is in the public domain. I tried to let them know the year that they started. Who's this guy? Well, here we are. So we have this coming out of the Telegraph, just talking about OpenAI told its peers, oh God, no, it killed me. Oh, it took it away.
You see, this is funny to me because
Damn it.
there's something that jumps out to me
Hold on, let me
immediately
do this.
about this. They're talking about OpenAI potentially getting shut down because if you think about it, this goes back to what I was saying about the 3 main companies owning all these different AI companies.
Mm-hmm.
OpenAI is one of them. being owned by State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock. It's that they are the reason why it can be a tool for misinformation is because everybody looks at a result from AI and they go, that must be right.
Yeah.
All AI is doing is it's going out and pulling information from somewhere else, repackaging it in a distilled manner for you to get that data. Now with images, same thing. It's going out and pulling images and creating new imagery from it. Now, on the one hand, yeah, I can see some copyright infringement there, but at the same time, it's an AI tool. So it seems like all they would need to do is write 3 lines of code. If pulling information from X, Y, or Z, especially on imagery basis, make sure you adjust it to this scale so it falls outside of copyright law.
Dude.
Seems like AI would solve itself in that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's the whole. It's the Wild West right
Yeah.
now because you think about the images that it's creating. I mean, if you're the user prompting this language model to create the image, that's a freshly created image, even if it's slightly altered. Same thing with music, right? But it's so easy to do so. Now, I mean, you're looking at entire sectors that could become unemployable, all the way down to software engineers. Honestly, bro, like in AI systems know how to write code. They know how to make music very effectively. They know how to make imagery very effectively. And this does affect people in their job markets. So, I mean, this is kind of a really weird moment in time where we have this system that is trying to outpace humanity, even if it is not singular yet.
It's the same story as when we went from horse and carriage to car. People
Yeah.
got put out of business, sure. What do you do if you want to succeed in this world? Stop being a damn victim. Look to the future and adapt accordingly. If you can't, it's Darwinism. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Can we use AI to generate better presidential candidates? Willis
that's what we need.
wants to know. Honestly, AI has become so lit in this. I mean, it's kind of scary because these deep fake videos, they look very close to real. And we've even seen potentially the hyena use these created images to kind of bolster her crowd sizes and things like that. So, I mean, there's a big question we got to ask ourselves on how much this stuff actually needs to be regulated.
Are you saying the quality's better than the moon landing?
Yes, it is. Did we actually land on the moon, do you think?
No.
You don't
Now,
think so?
Did you see the recent about the elderly woman who talked about how the JFK assassination, she was actually set in a room and they showed her a video of the driver turning around and
Oh,
shooting him.
God.
Did y'all see that video?
No, I didn't.
So
oh
she's
my God.
someone who, you know, she was part of that story, somehow investigator or something like that. And I just saw this the other day, and I just saw it on social. So
Oh.
take it for what you will. But anyway, I thought it was pretty interesting. So she said they set her down in a room and showed her a video, and the driver turned around and shot him in the head. And then she goes, "That's not the video." And they said, "No, this is the real video."
Whoa.
But they doctored it for the media. Now, again, that's what year was that?
Oh.
69 or something. So anyway,
Yeah, late 60s.
So how long have we been doctoring videos?
Dude,
I don't know.
oh my God. We're not even to the gated access
Oh,
side.
sorry.
And we just, but we're going to leave this unmonetized anyways because of the song. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
So
That makes sense.
it's likely going to be okay, you guys. Now, on the
What do you
economic
mean we
uncertainty-
can't speak truth on this media station?
No, and I mean, a lot of people have been asking me about why I'm doing it the way I am. Guys, we are being shadow banned by Alphabet right now. And I know a lot of people don't want to believe me, but it's serious. It's happening. I can see it in the analytics. I've seen it happening for months now. So the back end at 2:30, we are going to be closing the doors publicly on YouTube and going to members only. So if you're not a member already for the Blockchain Basement on YouTube, become a member and you get access to all the things that apparently Alphabet doesn't want me to be able to tell you guys. I'm doing it, one, to support this channel and to keep the lights on, to maybe give Isaac a paycheck someday.
Maybe.
Very bullish on that, right? But then also it protects the channel from being wiped off the internet for no reason at all. I've had multiple channels of my own get dusted for no explanation at all. Not like the Investing Bros situation. They literally just destroy it and never respond to me. And it's happened to me many times. So that is why I'm a little extra protective on that. But I know that there's a lot of users in the UK and other places that don't have access to our content on Rumble and things like that. So I'm trying to still deliver. I'm not giving up on you guys. Don't give up on us. We also have this U.S. manufacturing activity contracting for the 5th straight month, according to Bloomberg. We have activity with the manufacturing sector contracting, but also U.S. jobs data likely will decide the size of the Fed rate cuts. We have this when the last time you heard of Americans say they're more concerned about jobs than high prices. That was probably sometime in 2020 during flu season, when the country was in the depths of a major recession. Since then, thankfully, they changed the definition of a recession. So now we get to psyop ourselves into believing their next set of words.
And they've changed the number of jobs.
They have changed the number of jobs.
So I forget, and I think all of us probably forget how much of a bubble we're in, because I look at data all day long.
Yeah.
Not just crypto charts, economic data. I look at all, and I was talking with I don't want to blast the person, but somebody in my family, and I brought up the 118,000 jobs that were revised down,
Yeah.
you know? And she's like, what are you talking about?
It was 1.2 million
She
jobs.
had no idea what I was talking about. I hadn't seen it covered on anything. I was
It's
like,
insane.
Yeah. I was like, so it's kind of funny right now. We're looking at this, for instance, non-farm payrolls coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then we have other job data and other stuff, you know, the next week and a half.
Yeah.
But how relevant is that even going to be? Because that data is going to be changed in a month anyway.
Well, and here's the worst. It gets worse. It gets worse. Vast majority of the jobs, government jobs, federal employees, right? Not the public. It's federal employees that are really bolstering the job market to any degree. Despite all of the fake data they give us about how me and you, our jobs are going. No, they're using the immense amount of hiring done in the federal agencies to bolster their numbers, to make it look good as we get close to November and they're about to send you to the polls to vote for a brighter tomorrow, right? In America, like that matters at all. It's just insane. And then some worth noting here on the jobs information. Over the past 3 months, 2-year Treasury yields, the ones that are most sensitive to Federal Reserve policy, moved nearly 3 times more after employment data release than the CPI inflation data releases. Something very interesting to note. We have this today. Bank of Canada cut its policy rate for their federal funding rate by 25 basis points again. Unprecedented. This is obviously an ally of the United States. Will the Federal Reserve cut their rates next? I want the chat to decide. I think that you guys know me and my opinion. I haven't changed on this. I don't think that the Federal Reserve has any choice but to cut this month in September. In my opinion, it's about, is it 25 base points or 50 base points? I'm terrified if it is 50. But let us know in the chat. Do you think the Federal Reserve is going to cut basis points this month? And if so, by how much? Kelly, what's your opinion on this? Do you think that there's going to be some cutting going on at Jackson's Hole?
At Jackson's Hole?
That's right.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a rate cut, out at the next FOMC meeting. Whether it's 25 or 50 basis points, either way, I think we will get... There's a battle right now going on this argument that when the rates, there's so many people that are somewhat ignorant to this data. Rate cuts means they're so excited market's going to go up. But some people will argue when rates get cut, that's usually because something's broken and the market falls.
Yeah.
However, when you really look at the data back to, like the 50s, there's been 2 or 3 times in the last 30 years that rates have gotten cut and markets have actually gone up.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a 50-50 sort of problem here. My bigger concern isn't necessarily rate cuts. It's the fact that we're essentially record low savings and near record delinquencies on credit and debt. So where's the money going to come from for things to go up other than the wealthy? And that doesn't mean the prices can't go up, because the prices, when you look at like the S&P 500 or just traditional markets, they are reflective of smart people protecting their money outside of the system, also as a function of inflation. So if you look at all these assets, if you reduce the effect that inflation has had over this last 70 years, there's been little to no growth.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
Well,
These assets are not actually growing. It's the inflation that's making the things go higher. But if you're not in them, then you're getting left behind because your dollar value is going down, so you can't buy as much. So it's better to put it in these assets. So I think we will get a rate cut, and I'm feeling bizarre. I'm feeling wacky.
Feeling bizarre. I mean,
I think we're going to get some rally into the end of the year.
well, how does the big money player? I just don't believe that big money is accepting the fact that we're going to go into a recession. I think that big money understands we've been in a recession. So, because they changed the analytics on what is and what is not a recession. Sure, they can do that to the overall public, and they're like, oh, okay, that sounds good, Wall Street Journal. But I think that the money makers, the market movers understand we are in a very, very ugly point in time, and quantitative easing is pretty much a guarantee at this point.
That's what I was going to say. It's not so much the rate cut. When are they going to announce? Because they've been doing all these very careful mechanisms over the last 6 months where they're not printing new money. But they are. They're kind of doing this stealth quantitative easing and you basically reverse repo buybacks that is actually injecting and supporting money in the market. I mean, look at the S&P 500 hitting all-time highs, having a little pullback, and now right back challenging that all-time high again. So my question is going into the rest of this year, we're already seeing the PBOC, People's Bank of China, already on its uptick, and it happens the second half of every year. This back half of the year, we're seeing that global liquidity rise. So my question is going to be, what are going to be the mechanisms other than the Fed rate cuts? Are they going to start doing more aggressive buybacks, other things to support the market? Because that's really what's going to start seeing risk come back in the market.
Isaac, hold off on it. I got some alts to go through, okay? I see he's itching. He's itching to turn this into members only. This kid's feisty. So this is kind of sketchy, guys. Citibank says that a 50 base point cut is likely in September. And honestly, in my opinion, that would cause extreme fear in Wall Street and on crypto markets. So I'm not stoked about this idea. I think that a 25 base point cut would be a little bit of a pullback, and then the markets would start moving upwards in general. I know a lot of people think we're going to fall off a cliff if they cut. I disagree with that sentiment, but that's why we like everyone's opinions, right? And if anything should come across my desk that is a data point that helps me change my mind, I am very open to that. But at large, that's where I'm sitting. We had this. We're going into altcoin section now. CFTC hit Uniswap with illegal trading in digital asset derivatives order today. So the CFTC taking aim at Uniswap. Let's see if we can find this on 2bit. See what the price is doing on it. Let's see here. Uniswap. We didn't have arrow. Let's see if they got Uni. Oh yeah, there you go. They got some. Let's check it out. This is kind of crazy. Uniswap's up by like nearly 5% today. This is on the weekly candles. Let's go to the 4-hour here. So this news about the CFTC taking aim at Uniswap came kind of right around here, and it's still pumped anyways. So very interesting to see Uniswap just kind of giving no Fs there. We also had this. John Deaton wins the Republican nomination for the U.S. Senate seat in Massachusetts in the primary election. Obviously, we all know John Deaton. Huge friend of crypto. He really is quite a tall man as well. I think he's like 6'3" or 6'4" or something like that. He's much bigger than I thought he was in person. Very huge dude. But he's been standing up for crypto not being a security in secondary markets for years now. He's taking on the banking broad, Elizabeth Warren, which is just another reason why he's got my full support.
He was one of the main people in the legal team with XRP, wasn't he?
He was. Well, he wasn't on the team, but he did amicus briefs, and he did all kinds of things on the auxiliary to support the XRP case moving forward. So John Deaton definitely has my support in this bid to win the election against Elizabeth Warren. And I hope he really does get it, because I am super tired of Elizabeth Warren and her idiotic takes. Now here's a pretty interesting take here from Crypto Stevo. Wonder if he's out in the chat, but I told him I'd cover this. This is just scary, guys. So this chart is Solana to Cardano. Okay.
Your wife is roasting Hudson. I love it.
My wife is roasting Hudson? Oh, no. Oh, my God. The chat is just going nuts on him. I mean, we had to do it. I had to bring up your hair.
I love it.
So this is Solana in terms of value versus Cardano. And as you can see, Solana has been gaining a lot of ground against Cardano. But then we compare Cardano to Bitcoin and it gets even worse. Okay, so this is like the tech amazing for Cardano, but the price not so great, especially when you see everything is just cooking to the north. It makes me super sad because Cardano, I said the day of the Ethereum merge, when Ethereum went off of proof of work and went to proof of stake, I stick by this opinion that Cardano is the last stand for proof of stake in decentralized systems. But looking at this graph, Cardano versus Bitcoin on the price side, guys, this makes me want to puke. And this is why we can't have nice things. This is why the most decentralized proof of stake system out there in crypto is just getting beaten down. It is something that, you know, I know a lot of people are holding by virtue because it has, unarguably, it is one of the most decentralized proof of stake systems out there. Now they've burned the Genesis keys. Nothing like that has been done to other crypto projects. Genesis keys are very important for originating control of a system. They've burned them. That's gone. And now they've moved their voting all on chain for their governance. And the entry to barrier to be able to have a voice and vote on chain is much lower than other crypto projects. And still the price is just getting beat down. It's absolutely disgusting. And really, I really hope that we see this thing turn around in a big way. Let's check out where ADA is on 2-bit here real quick, just to see the price and see how far it went down. Because I did mention I was looking around for a 29 cent, maybe 28 cent entry point. I did not get that out of the recent pullback here. We did get down, and this is why I was kind of looking in that. Not too terribly long ago, we were able to hit 27 cents on Cardano, but backed up. I want to go to an all-time chart for Cardano because I do remember sentiment-wise this season that we're in right now being very similar to the pre-pump moment in 2020. So here we are on a time frame scale. We're similar to this moment where Cardano was trading at 9 cents a coin. A lot of people were talking about they made a huge mistake not selling it when it was at this 14-cent mark. I saw a lot of people capitulate out of it, and then it absolutely blew them out of the water, made a lot of people cry because it pumped up to $3. A lot of people thought it was dead.
Can I say something here?
What's that?
There's arguments that happen in this crypto space regarding the tech of these different projects, and I'm not calling anybody out. I'm calling every single one of us out. 99% of us use less than 1% of any of the tech, of any of the stuff that we're even investing in. And so we have to realize that even right now with Cardano, it's like people are, I hear people saying, well, it's because it might be very decentralized, but it's very hard to develop on because it's a different coding language and it's harder to integrate. Nobody gives a shit about that when they are buying a coin because more so than not, they're seeing the price is low. And this is just the truth of ignorance in this market. We're about to have a mass influx of new people in this market. The adoption as the price, all the prices in Bitcoin starts to rise. And when people flood in, they're not asking what's the coding language, how interoperable is it, is there EVM? They're saying, what's the price? Oh, if that goes to the price of Bitcoin, and that's a stupid sentiment, but that is a necessary sentiment of ignorance because people don't understand what market cap to token supply is. They say this is a cheap coin. There's a lot of people talking about it. And so I still think we have one more cycle at minimum, and it's this one, that we're going to see things pump on the speculative asset more so than, oh, what's the tech integrations? Now you have other things like somebody mentioned Polkadot earlier. Polkadot, they are working towards interoperability. So maybe there's some broader use cases that actually also drives some of the token value there in addition to the speculation, or things like Near that also have AI, or Constellation DAG that has so much integrations with great partnerships. But the value of the token itself is going to jump because there's going to be a speculative flood of FOMO on the asset, not because of its utility.
Well, and that FOMO doesn't come till Bitcoin dominance falls off of a cliff, historically, at large for most altcoins. Like, we're finding some that are just very aggressive to the upside right now in this season, but you have to have patience and get to that November moment before you can really determine what has good momentum. And even then, you're going to see Bitcoin dominance fall off. It's going to take a little bit of time for that liquidity in Bitcoin to flow down the hill to the other altcoins. Something else that's flowing down the hill for altcoins here is FTX $16 billion will be returned to creditors starting Q4 of 2024.
This is so bullish.
This is very bullish. And this is another metric pointing to this November, December relief timeframe that we've been talking about for a long time. So there is that going for us. And now this from Van Eck, just choosing violence like my wife in the chat versus Hudson. Holy hell. Van Eck, ETFs won't save your chain. So this is one of the world's largest asset managers just highlighting, hey, just because there's an ETF out there doesn't mean you're going to the moon. And honestly, this is something very reasonable to keep in mind, you guys. And really, since we've become so intertwined with ETFs and Wall Street, should Wall Street break and we enter a Great Depression, that is going to be very, very problematic for Bitcoin at this point. Now, BlackRock holds a large section of the supply at breakneck speed. They've gathered the supply. And should traditional finance fall from the sickness we all know is there, you better buckle up. And this is part of the problem that we have with being tied into TradFi. It pumps our bags, but it does bring along all of the pain that will come should the system break at large. All right, Isaac. Members only time.